Hey everybody, Chad here again with another Tech Talk, and I got my good friend Jeffrey Goldstein here. He's the co-founder and global managing director of Q and Associates, a Microsoft solutions partner with a worldwide presence, specializing in the complete Microsoft Dynamics 365 platform, artificial intelligence, and enterprise cloud and digital transformation since 1992. So Jeffrey here has got over 30 years experience in managing information systems and enterprise technology. So, hey, Jeffrey, thanks for joining my Tech Talk. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Chad, it's a pleasure to be here. Very exciting times now.
How is AI impacting you and your customers, how they work, and how do you see that playing out over the next several years?
Yeah, well, this is really exciting now, and it's impacting everything that we do right now. So, with everything that Microsoft has done over the last year, it's a game changer here. So, it's gotten everybody's attention, and everybody's interested in AI. They're interested in Copilot, and they want to know what it is. And really, what it's doing for us, Chad, is it's the justification for business transformation. So, what Microsoft has done over the last year has leapfrogged them over the competition. People are interested in Copilot. They want to know what it is. They want to see it. They don't know what it could do, and they're coming to the table, waving their hands, saying, "Help me, help me, help me." It really is going to help make people, more productive. But with that said, we're also showing, Copilot for Microsoft 365 just to show some of the basics and what things can do, within Microsoft 365. And some great examples are, Teams. I join a Teams meeting late, and it says, "Okay, here's what you missed. Here's the summary." And then at the end of the meeting, it'll summarize what was done. So we now record every single one of our meetings, in Teams, so that we have the ability in Copilot to go in and search for anything that we want to search. So some of the added benefits here without doing anything are just available to everyone. So, in order to get people acclimated and get them to comprehend what Copilot is, we start with Microsoft 365. We show them some of the basics of, Copilot just within Outlook and within Teams and a little bit within PowerPoint. And then we, show them, Dynamics. I'll give you another great example is I had to do a presentation, last Saturday, and just like you and I, everybody else, you always wait to the last minute to do the presentation. So what I did was, the Saturday morning before my presentation, I went into PowerPoint, launched Copilot, said create, presentation from document. I had a document that had everything defined what I was supposed to talk about, and it created my PowerPoint presentation. And that was really the impetus for, the discussion that I had. I went in, I made some minor edits, and I was in business. So that's an area where, it made me much more productive. It didn't replace me as a presenter, but it made me more productive. So the key here is, and this is what Microsoft is promoting, is that Copilot will not replace people, but people who use Copilot will replace people who don't use Copilot. Because people like me and you, Chad, who are using Copilot right now, we're going to be more productive than the guy next to us who's not using Copilot. And, we don't get free licenses, from Microsoft, with our subscriptions. So we have to pay for them, and we're paying for Copilot licenses. We tell people, listen, for $30 a user a month, it's $1 a day. It's absolutely worth it. It's cheaper than your Starbucks coffee. And if I'm out of the office for a day having meetings, I come back, I have 150 emails in my inbox. So I just go to Copilot and say, tell me what's important. What did I miss? And it'll summarize all the emails that I need to look at. So I don't have to go through every single individual email. So the productivity enhancements alone, are worth it. And it makes us so much more productive and our clients more productive. So really, people are very interested to see how we can make them more productive.
Is there any other cool tricks out of the box it's doing?
Yeah, so there's some very cool things here. So nobody likes to do a bank rec. In fact, most people don't do a bank reconciliation. So one of the things that Microsoft automated with the Copilot is the ability to do a bank reconciliation. This is a tedious task. Nobody likes to do it. In fact, they don't do it, and now they're making it easy to do. So things like that are making people more productive and automating tasks that people don't like to do that are repetitive, that's how it's making it much easier. Then it's also making it easier from a productivity standpoint where I could say, you call me and you say, "Hey, Jeff, I'm looking for a product. I want to know what shares you sell. What shares do you have for under $300?" So I can go into Copilot and say, "List off all the chairs that are under $300." It'll list the chairs. Then I'll get a description. I'll see a picture of the chair and I'll say, "Okay, Mr. Customer, here's the chairs I have. Which one would you like?" "Oh, I like this one." And then we can have it automatically create the order, say, "I'd like to purchase 2 chairs," right? So people can send you messages on, Teams. They could send you messages in a email, and we could automatically create the orders in Microsoft Dynamics 365, Business Central. So there's back office productivity, and there's also front office productivity where it's directly helping our customers.
Great. Anything to look out for with Copilot in Dynamics?
Yeah, so Microsoft just recently announced some enhancements specifically around agents. Typically, what Microsoft does is they release releases for Business Central every April and every November each year, and that's it. Those are the 2 releases, except for, hot fixes. This year, they have a special release in December that's going to include a series of enhancements to Microsoft, Copilot. So look out for it specifically for Dynamics 365 Business Central. In addition, we're also using it for Dynamics 365 sales. We have great examples of where we've shown this to our, customers, how they can be more productive, and even writing emails to prospects, finding out where opportunities are, helping us close opportunities. So it's all throughout Microsoft. So every single Microsoft product has a Copilot agent there that we can leverage. So whether it's in Outlook, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, in Microsoft Dynamics 365 for sales or CRM, or in the finance piece, there's a Copilot option in almost every single product, even behind the scenes, for like SQL, for Azure, for security. So really, it's going to help all of us become much more productive.
That's great. Now, you were saying Microsoft's first to market with this, so like the competitors of Sage and so forth, they're not doing this right now, or they're still working on it.
Well, they're coming out with similar products, but they're playing catch up here. So Microsoft has a 1 year head start against the competition here, and they're not sitting back. They're pushing forward, and they're pushing forward aggressively. So it's going to take make it almost impossible for the competition here to catch up, because Microsoft virtually had a 1 year head start on everybody.
Got it. Now, you've told me in the past too that so to get Copilot, you have to be in the cloud, one.
Yeah.
Then there's still a lot of Dynamics companies using Dynamics, and you're saying like 80% are still on premise, using servers either in a co-location or in their office at their location somewhere. So they're not able to use Copilot yet until they get into the cloud.
Yeah. So that's a great point. And that's what I had alluded to at the very beginning of the conversation, is Copilot is the justification for the business transformation or the migration from on-prem to the cloud. And Microsoft has several promotions in place to help our customers out to get them to the cloud. So for anybody who's currently using an on-prem Dynamics product that's on a current enhancement plan, Microsoft is providing a 40% discount, and it's guaranteed for 3 years to get them onto the cloud, which is, fantastic. Okay. And then there's also incentives that they're providing for the partners to help out financially with the migration and the business, transformation. So I had mentioned before, one of the things that Microsoft is promoting in terms of, the migrations, and also the fact that, the people who use Copilot are going to, outlast the people who don't use Copilot. The other thing we say is that Copilot is the first thing we show and the last thing we implement. So, we're showing Copilot, Chad, to create the vision. And once people see it, they say, "I want this." And then we're going through this business transformation. So now we have to take them from Exchange on-prem to, Exchange online. We have to take them from SharePoint on-prem to SharePoint online. We have to take them from Dynamics on-prem to Dynamics online, because once we do that, then all this information will become available to Copilot, However, if it's on-prem, Copilot won't be able to see it. So this is the justification, not only to get the house in order, get people onto the cloud, make sure that we do the security assessments, which Chad, I know you're an expert at, doing these security assessments, because once we put Copilot in their hands, we want to make sure that they only have access to information that we want them to have access to.
That's what we're seeing is one of the gotchas or one of the
Mhm.
vulnerabilities is implementing Copilot too early, making sure that your house is in order before you let that loose.
Exactly. But I do tell people, they shouldn't be afraid, because Copilot's not going to let you see anything that you don't already have access to. So for example, if I don't have access to your payroll files, even if I have Copilot and I say, what is Chad's salary? I'm not going to be able to find it or see it. However, if your salary's in a document that everybody has access to, all it's going to do is enable me to find it faster. But that's something that I could have done, manually. But Copilot's going to make it very easy for me to be able to search and to be able to find it. And that's why we have to implement security procedures, lock down our security, do the security assessments, and make sure that everything is in place. Because to be honest, most people are pretty sloppy with, security. So if they hunted and pecked, they could probably find, a payroll file somewhere on the, file servers. But it may take them, months or years, whereas Copilot will help them find it in, seconds. So that's the thing that we have to be very careful about.
And then you're partnering with companies like Pulse One also with that digital transformation to migrate anything else other than Dynamics into the cloud. And like, so you're talking about SharePoint and Active Directory, your user accounts, Exchange, all that. That's where we would partner together with you to help companies get into the cloud.
Yeah, yeah, and Microsoft is doing that. They're encouraging partners to work together because, we can't work in a data silo and just look at one, specific product. They all complement each other. So everything on the Power Platform, within the business solutions, within modern work, they all work together. So migrating just one application. So if we just migrate, Dynamics, that's only, 1/3 of the 1/3 of the puzzle. Then we need to migrate all of the modern work. We need to migrate, the entire Power Platform and everything else that they're using, because that's where Copilot really pays off, is when we get everything into the Microsoft cloud. Once everything is in the Microsoft cloud and then Graph is able to see it, then, it becomes available. And then where we go to Pulse One is if we need to create plugins to be able to access applications outside of the Microsoft world, then you're, Chad, are able to help us by creating these plugins, because there may be some legitimate applications that are not within the Microsoft cloud that our clients are using, and they need Copilot to be able to have access to that information. And we're working with an architect firm right now, and they really design buildings. And they have information all over. They have information in emails, they have information in SharePoint, they have information on OneDrive. And really what they want to do is they want to use Copilot, and they want to be able to go in and say, give me everything I need to know about project XYZ. And what it's going to do is it's just going to go through everything and consolidate the information and give it to them. And right now it's virtually impossible for them to be able to find this information, because sometimes it's in an email, sometimes it's in OneDrive, sometimes it's in, SharePoint, sometimes it could be in some other system. By moving to Copilot, it'll be very easy for people to find out information about a specific project without having to go through all of these different files manually, which could take, hours, weeks, or even months to find the information.
All right. So, how do we get a hold of Jeffrey Goldstein at Q and Associates?
Well, it's pretty easy. If you go to Bing and type my name, or it's J Goldstein at QUEUEASSOC.com. The other thing I'll tell you is, we've been doing a world tour of Copilot events.
Are they streamed live or is it just all in person?
In person. In-person events. We want some incentive to get people out of their office and into our office.
That's awesome. All right. Well, Jeffrey, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it, and talk to you soon.
All right. Very good. Thank you. Have a great day.